You are walking away. I feel like you're this Queen of Cups. And you could have been in a marriage or a very committed relationship. At one point, this king was your match. But now he's reversed. This is emotional stability, not opening up about feelings, being not being what he says he's going to be. And it's become a burden to you. Maybe you feel like you've had to take on too much in this relationship where, like, before it was he was giving 100%, you were giving 100%, but now it's down to he's giving 20%, you're giving 80%. Or maybe you could be doing all the effort. Like, you're the only reason why you two are still together, because you're putting in all the effort for this relationship. Either way, it feels like a burden to you now. And I feel like you are this Eight of Cups energy and you're walking away. And it's not even, it's breaking your heart, but it's not at the same time. I feel like this is a long time coming and you're just ready to free yourself. I feel like this Eight of Swords and the Hanging Man reversed, you kept yourself stuck in this relationship when you know you didn't have to. And I feel like you're realizing that now. And you're ready to move on to the next phase of your life. Let me get some clarifiers. Let me go to the Knight of Coins. This Knight of Coins could have been the king. Maybe he was focusing too much on work and not enough on you. Focusing too much on his money and not putting enough effort into love. You can do both, people. I hope you know that. So this Knight of Coins has the Seven of Wands and the Four of Cups reversed. He's got his walls up for sure. So this could just be that he's not opening up about his emotions and focusing too much about work. But he's not even viewing this as a missed opportunity anymore. Or this could be that he's just so satisfied with his work right now that it's not even going to bother him that you're leaving, because he still has his work. Tell me about the King of Cups. Six of Cups reversed. This could have been a soulmate, but you feel like it's ran its course now. Tell me about the Hanging Man. Five of Swords reversed. So you were so focused on this relationship that you weren't even viewing that it was a lost cause anymore. You were keeping yourself stuck here because you felt like there was still a little bit of hope, maybe. Your Justice at the bottom of the deck. So a relationship is definitely ending here. The scales are finally going to be balanced. Whereas before they were unbalanced because you were putting in all the effort. Now nobody's going to be putting in effort. The scales will finally balance for you. You'll feel all this weight come off your shoulders. You'll be at peace with your life once you no longer have to worry about this king. Tell me about the Three of Swords. For Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. So you have the Moon reversed, the High Priestess, and the Fool reversed. There could have been somebody else, especially with the King of Wands at the bottom of the deck. But you trusted your intuition, and you know the truth now. And that could be why you're not feeling this heartbreak as much. You could be just feeling more anger, more resentment than anything. But you're not going to put in any effort anymore. You're not trusting anymore, at least not to this person. You're done giving him chances. You're done being a fool. Tell me about the Moon. What were these secrets? If you have any Aquarius in your chart, or if you feel compelled to at all, watch the Aquarius read, because they had almost all the same exact cards. And Aquarius had a very heavy Cancer in their reading. I don't mean like weight-wise. I mean like it was definitely it. And there's the Queen of Swords as I'm saying that. So this could be an Aquarius. So there could have been a third party, and now it's being revealed to you. So I would watch that Aquarius read. If you feel like this is your story or not. It might help to have a little insight to the other person's side of the story. But both of you had the High Priestess and the Moon, the King of Cups, the Queen of Cups, the Six of Swords. So what that's telling me is, and in that reading, the King of Cups was reversed and the Queen of Cups was, no, the King of Cups was upright and the Queen of Cups was reversed. So what that's telling me is if there's a third party and it is an Aquarius, what he's telling you, he's also telling her, but switching the characters up. So he's telling her that you're not putting in the efforts, but from your side of the story, he's not putting in the efforts. He's the reason why this relationship failed, but he's telling her, you're the reason why this relationship's failing. You're the asshole here. So I feel like this king is playing the victim. Tell me about the Eight of Swords. Why is the Eight of Swords here for Cancer? Four of Swords reversed, Five of Pentacles reversed. So you were so afraid of being left out in the cold, of feeling like you were alone, you know, probably really focusing on your insecurities, probably asking yourself, well, why am I not good enough? To the point where you kept yourself isolated. You didn't want to leave your house. You probably left your house for work and then immediately went back home after work. You probably, you know, kept yourself from moving on. And all it did was prolong this heartbreak. But this heartbreak turned into anger or resentment, which isn't good either. But whatever helps you move on, I guess. But it's time to stop isolating yourself. Download some dating apps. Go out with your friends. You know, go for walks. Go hiking. The weather's starting to get nice again. You know, just go out for walks around your neighborhood. Maybe you'll meet somebody. Start getting yourself out of the house, and you'll start feeling like yourself again. You'll no longer focus on your insecurities. You'll no longer focus on this king that was manipulating and playing the victim from both sides. You'll no longer feel like you have to put in an effort where there's no effort given. Bottom of the deck, you have the Tower reversed and the Three of Swords. So I feel like you were avoiding this for a long time. You knew a long time ago, your intuition told you a long time ago that it was time for you to leave. But you kept trying to avoid that Tower. You kept putting in more and more effort. Even if he kept giving less and less effort. This was a long time coming for you, Cancer, but you're finally getting to a point where you're done. And it could be this resentment that's getting you through, finding out that there was another woman. And if there wasn't another woman, this could be your energy, finding out that he was never going to put in the effort and no longer taking a leap of faith with him and cutting him out because you were trusting your intuition. I most definitely would check out that Aquarius read, though. If you've had suspicions, then this king was probably cheating on you. That's probably around the time that he stopped giving effort. So, final advice for Cancer for April 3rd through the 10th. You have the Snake, Everybody knows what a snake is. You have the door at the bottom of the deck, though. As soon as you let this go, new doors will open for you. Start getting yourself out of the house, for sure. I know it's hard. I'm a Cancer moon. I definitely isolate myself way more than I should sometimes. Sometimes it's definitely necessary. Sometimes you gotta retreat into your shell. But I feel like you've done it too much. And now it's starting to affect your self-esteem. So let's see what the snake is. Snake is seduction, temptation, and possibilities. So I can see this two different ways. This is saying, if you didn't know this, then this king was a snake. Or it could be saying, take on the snake qualities. Start being the temptress that you know you are. Start realizing that you have no reason to be insecure. Start putting yourself out there. More possibilities will come to you. Doors will open. You have the wheel at the bottom of the deck. So you could be dealing with a fixed sign, Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, or Sagittarius. And then you have Ace of Wands and the King of Cups. Let me just look at it for you real quick and then I'll turn it around. So I feel like you've had some small victory in something that you just took a huge leap of faith with. And you're still kind of... There's something in the past that you're still thinking of. Either that or you're just daydreaming of what could be with this small victory. It could just be that you are finally getting a grip on your finances, gaining more control and stability in your life, balancing out everything, making the correct investments. Maybe you found a job that you're passionate about and you're having like this small victory about it. Or this could be that you let go of somebody from the past who was a little controlling to you. But now you're still thinking about it, thinking like, almost like what could have been. The song Better Man by Little Big Town is coming to mind. So if you like country, listen to that song. Even if you don't like country, I don't think Little Big Town is too like twangy. I do like Little Big Town. But definitely check out that song if you're dealing with somebody you just recently broke up with and feel like, things could have been better if you were a different person. So let's see what this small victory is. What's the Six of Wands? The small victory is you taking a leap of faith. So, and when it fell out, it was leaning towards this Fool. So this small victory is this leap of faith, trusting in the universe, trusting in whatever new adventures you're going on, going with the flow, kind of like if you did just break up, realizing that this is happening for a reason. Tell me about the Seven of Coins. What's this investment? King of Wands. You possibly might be waiting for this person to come back around, for him to learn his lesson. And with the Faith at the bottom of the deck, it could just be that this person is going through a life lesson right now, and that's why this isn't working out. But again, I would listen to Better Man by Little Big Town. Really try to decipher if this person is worth you waiting around for. Tell me about the Two of Coins. Two of Coins reversed. So I feel like it's a very small victory because you're not quite there to balancing everything out. You're probably one day feeling really good about this, and the next day, thinking again about this missed opportunity. And then again, the next day you're like, well, I'm just going to jump back out there and find somebody new. And then the next day you're like, no, I don't want somebody new. I want to wait for this person to come back around. Like, it's very, very wishy-washy, like very hot and cold. Tell me about this Emperor for Cancer. Why is the Emperor here? The Empress. So this person is a match. It probably is destined for it to come back together eventually, but right now this person is going through a life lesson. They probably are at a distance from you with the Chariot at the bottom of the deck. Tell me about this Four of Cups. You know what, we're going to put those back. Four of Cups. Clarify the Four of Cups. God, Spirit really has a freaking sense of humor. Like, almost every time I clarify in all my readings, it's giving me the exact same card. So, can you please tell me about the Four of Cups? So, this is definitely your energy. You're the one that's definitely sitting in this, feeling like you have a lost or missed opportunity with this person. Or this could just be saying that, you know, you've had a small victory, you've gotten over this person, but now you're a little bit bored. But let's see. You have the Chariot, the Ten of Wands, the Hermit, Ace of Cups, the Sun, the Queen of Swords, the Page of Swords. So you're like back and forth with this mindset of like, you know, one day I want to I just want to retreat into my shell. But, you know, sometimes it's just a burden to have to deal with this on my own. So I'm going to like branch out there, trying to find somebody new, cut this person off, focus on my happiness. You could be spying on this person a little bit to see where they're at in life. But I feel like you're just back and forth with this. Like, you could be just bored with your life at this point. In which case I suggest finding a hobby instead of finding another person, because you're going to be right back to square one if this new person ever leaves. But, you know, either that or you feel like it's a missed opportunity. Like, and it is facing this Emperor, so you feel like this person and you were like destined to be, but for whatever reason it didn't work out this time. Doesn't mean it can't come back together. But this person's going through major life lessons right now, and you just kind of have to give them their space. And just because you have to give them their space and you realize that it's going to come back together someday doesn't mean that you have to sit home alone all the time. I mean, you are a Cancer, you do enjoy that, but Cancers also like to, you know, go out and celebrate and have fun. They're not complete hermits. They don't like to like be alone all the time. So tell me about this Three of Cups. This Three of Cups could just be saying that, you know, you're going to get bored and then you're going to go out with your girlfriends, and then right after that is, you know, Ace of Wands. That's the one night stand card. Shit. Okay, that's probably what it is. So you have Knight of Cups, Four of Swords, Seven of Coins, and the Hanging Man. So, like, you just get kind of bored with waiting around for this person, and then you decide to go out with your girlfriends, and then, boom, you meet somebody. You take them home, or you go to their home, and let's see what happens. Oh, man. Either you're going to break this person's heart, or they're going to break yours. So you do have the Three of Swords, the Nine of Cups, the Eight of Swords, and the Four of Wands. So I feel like you're going to be the one that's going to tell this new person, like, listen, this was just a one-night stand. I don't see this going somewhere else. There is somebody in my life that I'm still stuck on, that I still, you know, see a future with, and you were just kind of getting me through. You were just kind of like you were just a booty call, honestly. So, Cancer, I do feel like you're about to break somebody's heart if you do have a one-night stand, because you're still attached to this Emperor. Tell me about this King of Cups. Clarify the King of Cups. Three of Coins reversed. So you're waiting around for this person, but for this person to come back, but they're not really cooperating right now. They're focused on work. Or this could say that with this one-night stand, you might catch feelings for this person, or at least keep them around for a little bit, and then this emperor is going to come back around, and then you're going to be creating a third party situation because you still have feelings for this person, but now you got somebody new on the side to, have a little fun with. So be careful if you don't want to be in that kind of situation. Definitely state exactly what you're looking for when it comes to this one night stand. I wouldn't lead anybody on, because then it'll create karma for you, and that will come back to bite you in the ass eventually. I don't know how, but you'll see. So, final advice for Cancer for the next week. Final advice for Cancer for April 10th through the 17th. Ooh, I don't think I've ever seen this card. But I feel like this person is like a puppet on a string, because like all these doves have white or red strings attached to it. But let me read it out of the book. It says, assistance, help, and support. I felt a tug. You must be at the end of your rope. We have trained and we have studied. We have fallen and picked ourselves up to try yet again. Certainly, progress has been made with each effort and each attempt, but sometimes, despite it all, we have to acknowledge the reality that we can't do it entirely on our own. In this imagery, the white doves are visual metaphors for helping hands. The physical support they provide here might take the form of emotional encouragement, financial assistance, or expert advice based on knowledge or previous experience. The challenge now is to achieve a balance, to offer help but not reliance. So there could be some codependency here. Either you're codependent on this person or they're codependent on you, or this is saying, you've been a hermit, you've been trying to get through this for so long that it's like the universe is like sending you out on a night out with your friends, and then they're gonna send you this one night stand or this new soulmate for you to help get through this. But I feel like it's going to create like a lover's situation. Like you're gonna have to choose what is more beneficial to you. Do you want to go after the person that you love, that you truly love, or do you want to stay with this new one night stand person who looks like truly cares about you? So it's up to you, Cancer, ultimately what you do, and honestly, you'll never know the answer until you get there. So, but it looks like the universe is telling you either work on this codependent relationship that might be, or it's saying you can't do this all on your own. You need to get out of the house and go enjoy yourself for a little bit, and then we'll send you someone who will help you finish up your healing.